Welcome back everybody to a new video today. First thing I'm going to say here is I'm sorry that there's no face cam in the last two videos. My battery in my camera just decided that it's not going to charge. It's always empty. That's besides the point. Blah blah blah. Pointless. I got a new one coming in the mail, so don't worry about that. But I decided that since we are talking about zombie games today, I was going to play one of my favorite zombie games ever released to console, which is Dying Light. It's excellent. Enjoyed the gameplay in the background, but we are going to be talking about zombies today. So in your mind, if you're thinking to yourself, what is the most overdone genre on any type of gaming platform and or movies and or TV shows? That's right, it's anime. But we're not talking about anime today. We're talking about the second most saturated genre on TV, movies, TV shows, games, all of it, which is zombies. And what I want to do is talk about one of the most hyped zombie games that is going to be coming out in 2017, which is Days Gone. And what I want to do in this one is I want to kind of want to talk about what makes Days Gone a different type of zombie game, because it's kind of hard to say, hey, we're coming out with a new zombie game and it's going to be just like all the other zombie survivor horror games out there. And a lot of you might be thinking that, oh, it's just going to be another one of those. But today I want to break it down and kind of tell you what's making this one a little bit different. If you're hyped for this game, if you don't really know too much about it, sit back, relax, let me inform you on zombie games in 2017. So the first thing that we need to talk about here is the fact that this technically, you could even say this is not a zombie game, because the zombies, so to say, in this game are not zombies. They're not dead, they're still alive. They react to pain. Killing them is much easier because these people are infected. They're not dead, so to say. They have a virus that keeps them human but gives them characteristics of zombies. So you don't have to do the stereotypical shot to the head, cut the head off. You can see in the footage here that the zombies are actually getting shot in the stomach, in the legs, in the chest cavities, and they're falling. They're dead because they are human still with a type of disease that makes them very zombie-like. And when it comes to zombies, the things that make this one a little bit more different than you can see in like the Dying Light gameplay, where it's just a bunch of scattered zombie-like people just walking around aimlessly with no purpose. In Days Gone, there is two major different types of zombies. They're both called, I'm not going to keep calling them zombies. They're called freakers in this because of course they're still alive. They're not zombies, they're freakers. That's what they call them in here. And there's two different types of freakers. One is the horde packs of freakers, which is a type of zombie, I said it again, they're not zombies, a type of freaker that travel in packs. And so they hunt in packs, so to say. They stay in packs, and from the footage you can see that once gunshots go off or something loud happens, they stick together and they just go for it. And this is something that you don't see a lot in zombie games nowadays, where it's a lot more, they're kind of independent, but they kind of group together a little bit. It's kind of like they all want you, but in this game you can see that they all want you, but they're staying together, and because they always stay together, the pack moves together. And there's another type of freaker in this game called a newt, and what these ones are the ones that kind of keep you on your toes. You can see in the footage here, this is a newt. They're smaller, they're almost childlike, and they kind of stick to the shadows. They kind of will jump you almost. They're not the type of zombie that will attack you head on when you're staring at them. They will run away, but they're the ones that will find ways around and jump you when you're not really paying attention. This keeps the zombie game type aspect of you trying to stay on your toes at all times, not just looking for these massive hordes and staying away from them. It kind of gives you a little bit more of an edgy type feel. Now, when we break it down to bare bones, when it comes to actual zombie gameplay, what are the most major things you get from these zombie games? One, it's kind of like a loot slash crafting slash guns blazing survival type open world. And that's what this game is. It is the same exact concept when it comes to survival, when it comes to open world, when it comes to crafting, when it comes to guns, when it comes to all of this. It's very similar, but this type of game isn't worn out yet. And what I mean by that is that zombie games themselves don't have the entire category of open world guns crafting. That's very generic, and that's what a lot of games nowadays actually have, because open world games, I think I've said this before, is going to be a standard soon. It's not going to be like games aren't open world, like say Tomb Raider or something like that. Those types of games are all going to be open world. Of course, first person shooters are going to be kind of limited still, because that's that kind of style. But when it comes to games that are survival, that are crafty type, that are, what I'm trying to say is that world games that have a specific path are going to die out completely. Open world is going to be very generic, and because of that, the gameplay of the open world crafting guns kind of thing is going to stick around. Even though zombie games themselves are kind of repetitive, this one makes a zombie game a lot different with the open world crafting kind of aspect because of that. The biggest difference that I see in Days Gone that they did with this zombie type, I'm using air quotes here, game, is that these people are still alive, and because of that they are easier to kill, and because of that they do have some human characteristics still, so you can utilize those human characteristics to benefit yourself with the easier killings, and with maybe, there's no footage of it yet, but I feel that since these freakers have this human characteristic, you'll almost probably be able to tap in to these human characteristics to not keep them on your side, but probably manipulate some of the hordes of freakers that you might encounter in the future, because the fact that these freakers are still alive kind of gives me that mindset that this game might have these freakers actually be able to be utilized, because they're not just straight brain dead zombies, they're people still. And with all of that being said, guys, I hope that you liked the video today. I hope that this kind of gave you that information that you were looking for with Days Gone. It's not the normal type of zombie game that you see nowadays, and I'm kind of excited to see where this goes, because there's not that much footage out yet. There's barely a release date. I mean, I think it's still just to be announced in 2017. So I'm kind of curious to see where they're going with this, because it's a full-time development game right now. People are really headfirst in this. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Leave a like, leave a subscription. It really does help me out, guys. I will see you all later.